Timer's going.
Ooh! Hey everybody, it's Korn and Kock episode 3.
Big shout out episode 3.
Why do you keep shouting out to ourselves?
Because it's a big shout out.
You're a big shout out.
Thank you.
I'll put my dick in your shout out. I'll put my dick in the owl.
Bigger shout out. We have our first guest.
Woo! It's our friend Zane. He's a boy.
Hi, it's me. I'm Zane. I'm here. I did it.
You did it. We Ben couldn't make it because of unforeseen scheduling conflicts. And when I say unforeseen, I mean we totally saw it coming.
Sorry Ben, not sorry. We're throwing you under the bus. And the bus has 18 wheels on both sides. So it's actually 32 wheel bus.
4 more would have been 36.
I guess so.
Okay.
Oh,
so, like we promised last week, we're going to start off this podcast by reviewing Metallica's show.
Which I did not go to, so...
Yeah.
I don't have much to add.
He doesn't have much to add other than Saint Anger is the best Metallica album.
Oh, it's my favorite. I love hearing the kitchen sink thrown down a sewer hole. I love that sound.
Okay,
Oh,
Stone, let's review. So we got there halfway through... No. Avenged Sevenfold played their whole set, right?
Yeah, it was about 10 songs. 9, maybe 11, somewhere around there. They were good. What is it? The new drummer was really good. Way better than their old one. And yeah, the crowd was kind of small, but people were still coming in. But I enjoyed them. I actually knew most of the songs, but they played most of the hits. You like them, right?
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I haven't listened to a lot of their songs, so I don't know much about them. What about you, Zane?
You know, I've heard Avenged Sevenfold is good, right?
Yeah.
But every time I hear the name Avenged Sevenfold, the first thing that comes to me is... My memory has just been sold. That's the first thing that comes to my mind every single time I hear Avenged Sevenfold.
The first thing I see when I hear the name Avenged Sevenfold is like some kid in 7th grade with like wristbands like up to his elbows,
Yes.
like with black long hair, a Pierce the Veil shirt, and he's like, "Oh man, Avenged Sevenfold is so deep. It's so dark. It's heavy, man."
I always pictured that with like, Avenged Sevenfold, All That Remains.
Just all that faggot shit.
A lot of those kind of bands that fall into that middle school territory where it's
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Well,
It's
yeah.
true.
I mean, hey man, I got into Avenged Sevenfold when I was like, 8th
When you're
grade,
just a
freshman.
boy.
Well, yeah, like freshman. Which is like past 7th grade. But yeah, it's kind of like it brings me back to that time, and you're kind of like, they're good, but they're not great. They do have some good songs, but I'm sorry, Hail to the King was such a shitty album.
hey, there's nothing wrong with being nostalgic for a band like that.
No. I mean, look at bands like, the Rolling Stones. I mean, come on. That's nostalgic for a bunch of
The
people.
Rolling U's?
The Rolling...
All right, hold that thought.
Move the microphone.
Well, no, I'm cutting this part out, obviously.
No, you should keep it.
No, fuck. Yes, I'm gonna keep...
You gotta keep it in now.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well,
I thought the mic stand was in a bad position.
okay,
I guess I can't...
we also
move
missed
anymore.
Gojira.
Who cares?
I'm just saying,
Who
Gojira played.
cares?
We didn't see Gojira, which...
Who cares?
I know one Gojira song. Flying Whales, which is okay.
Flying whales.
It's actually kind of cool. The beginning just has a bunch of whale noises.
All the SJW Tumblr folks, you can see them flying overhead. They're about to drop their opinions on you.
They're waiting to attack with their opinions.
Okay.
Drop the bombs.
I'm Kin Genderful.
Wasn't even intelligible. What
She's
you
just throwing Kinder eggs into her mouth and pooping out the toys fully assembled.
said. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Metallica, they opened obviously with Hardwired since it's their worldwide tour.
Yeah, that's probably the best song they played, in my opinion.
Well, in terms of impact, yeah, it was cool because like all of a sudden like the studio version's playing, it's like not an octave lower, but it's like in different tuning, and it plays, and all of a sudden Lars comes out of nowhere and he's like, "Ignore the fucking camera!" and he starts like kicking on the thing.
It's literally what happened.
Yeah, he said that. Look it up. Phoenix 2017 Metallica show.
Did you see the video clip I sent you of Halo on Fire?
It was all right. James Hetfield cannot sing in his old age.
He's like 50 52, 53.
Something along those lines.
Dude,
And he's old up there.
Dude, my fucking dad's same age, and he can sing way better. I mean, he can't play guitar as well. I'm sorry, Dad, if you're watching this, but come on, James Hetfield. Yeah, I think even you'd agree.
James Hetfield's like the godfather of when it comes to writing guitar riffs. I mean, come on. There's only like a few guys who can come up with guitar riffs that will influence musicians for the next 100 years, and James Hetfield's one of them. And Kirk Hammett.
Yeah.
Mostly James Hetfield. And Lars Ulrich will be an influence.
He'll go down in infamy.
He is infamous, to say the least. The very least, he is infamous.
What's the reason why people hate Lars so much? I'm not much of a Metallica fan, so I don't really know.
I'll give you
the
two
background.
words.
Okay.
Saint Anger.
Okay.
For starters.
Was he like the head of Saint Anger?
Yeah, he was. Have you guys ever seen that documentary on the making of Saint Anger?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna show it to you guys. The thing is hilarious.
Is it like comedically? Is it funny?
It's unintentionally funny. But, it's just Lars and James screaming at each other the whole movie. And then Kirk is just in the background. It's the funniest thing ever.
Wait, really?
Literally, that's the scene. There's a part where Lars and James are just yelling at each other, and Kirk is just sitting on the couch. And the producer, Bob Rock, I don't like Bob Rock, is just sitting there, and he's just like, not doing a single thing to stop it.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Whatever. Fuck me, I guess.
There's Saint Anger, there's Napster, there's his...
Oh, that's right, the Napster things.
Yeah, and his...
What happened on Napster?
Napster was kind of like a cell phone music thing, right?
Well, I know
kind of like you know how you go on YouTube and you download.
Well, I know what Napster is. I meant like what did he have to do with it?
He sued Napster.
Why?
Because people were buying. They were getting Metallica music for free without paying. Metallica found out and they sued Napster because fans should go out and buy the album instead of just getting it for free. So that's why people hit it. It's like when people go on YouTube and just listen to the album for free without going out and buying it. It's the same thing. But it's more normal nowadays. Back in 2000, it was still kind of a new thing.
That was back before like stuff like YouTube where bands realized that they could monetize their videos so that even regardless if they're watching it on YouTube, they can still get paid.
Yeah.
So.
It was like the turn of the century, so... And for
yeah,
the
we were
music
still
industry.
riding wagons around and shit. We didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't know things would change.
But like his decrease in abilities of playing drums, it's kind of more basic now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, he's a good business guy, and he's a driving force behind Metallica. Whether you love him or hate him, he is Metallica.
Whether you love him or hate him, he'll always ignore that fucking hammer.
Him and James Hetfield are the only two founding members that have stuck throughout the whole thing, right?
Yeah, Kirk Hammett was almost there. And then the bassist, Robert Trujillo, he's been with them since 2003.
But James and Lars, they were there from the beginning. They were there from first album up until now. Every single time.
Technically, Lars put out an ad, and James Hetfield responded. So if you really want to get technical, Lars is the original member. Mm-hmm. Isn't that funny?
That's weird to think.
Fucking Lars.
Lars put out an ad in a newspaper in L.A., and James Hetfield responded.
Hey, moment of silence right now for, I don't even know what I was going to say.
What's the moment of silence?
What's the moment of silence for?
Oh.
Moment of silence. People who died listening to Saint Anger.
All right, here we go.
Dude, can I really quick? I actually saw a vinyl of Saint Anger at Zia's, and it was $80.
It was $70. I saw the
was it 70?
I saw the Snapchat yesterday. It was $69.99.
Well, let's face it.
Fucking liar.
Well,
no one's gonna pay $70 either.
But here's
way.
the question: was it still in the shrink wrap or was it used?
I think it was still in the shrink wrap.
I would imagine that if it was in the shrink wrap, it'd be 70.
Because if it's out of the shrink wrap, I'd say it's worth at least 5 cents. At most 5 cents.
I'm gonna get you a Saint Anger vinyl for your birthday next year.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have a record player.
So.
What do you mean so? That's like Zane giving me a VHS copy of Jurassic Park, and I don't own a VHS player.
Well, the difference is if Stone was to get you that copy of Saint Anger, he's paying you $70 for a piece of media that you can't even play. Yeah, I think I spent 50 cents on that VHS copy of Jurassic Park.
I could always get one from Goodwill.
You could.
Not a Saint Anger vinyl.
No. You could get lucky. We're getting way off track. Yeah. We always get way off track talking about Saint Anger. Fuck you, Saint Anger. Eat my ass. So then they opened with Hardwired, and that was cool. And then they did Atlas Rise, and that was cool. Mm-hmm. And, me and Stone were in general admission, so we were like 50 feet from the stage.
Probably less than that.
It was cool. We what did they play after that? They played For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah, then The Memory Remains.
Yeah, that was like the oddball. They played a fucking song from Reload.
No, that's like one of the singles, so that's kind of understandable. If I want to use that meme.
It's gay.
I mean, I would have preferred Fuel.
I've kind of burned out on that understandable Have a Nice Day meme.
It's still pretty funny.
Here, we'll zip through it in 1 second. Start, end. There we go.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Yep. All right.
Memory Remains, and then Now That We're Dead, which is cool. Moth into Flame, all the fire was awesome.
Oh yeah, no, the pyrotechnics were pretty top notch.
They were lit that night. Literally, they were lit.
Dude, I wish I could have been near one of those to like light a cigarette.
Can you
it lights the cigarette and my arm on fire.
You have to imagine there's got to be at least one person throughout this entire Metallica tour who, when they got into contact with the pyrotechnics for Moth into Flame, their eyebrows definitely burned off. Like,
Dude,
they
can you
had
imagine?
to burned off.
No, like in the crowd. In the crowd, it burns your face. And imagine them on stage. They're right next to it.
Oh, they've got to be sweating like maniacs.
They're wearing like fireproof jelly all over their bodies just in case.
Lars doesn't need jelly. He just like sweats it off.
James Hetfield's just covered head to toe.
Lars is a lizard, and his scales prevent him from catching on fire.
Everyone's covered head to toe in KY jelly, but you just can't tell because you're so far away.
They played
surprised.
Wherever I May Roam after that. And that was cool.
They're fucking Arab song. I'm just kidding.
And then they played...
That's a good song.
I think they played Halo on Fire after that.
That one was alright. Like, okay, one thing I do have to knock Metallica on, they choose volume over sound quality. Because it was so goddamn loud, I could barely hear any of the... Like, I could hear some things if I, like, squinted and, like, held my ears closed.
You could hear the high notes.
Yeah. But, like, the entire show, it sounded like James was, like, a little girl. Because, like, my ears were just so fucked up that it just sounded off. That's just how loud it is.
That's just a problem with, like, rock music today, and not even just rock music, but music in general. Like, if you take just even bands that I love, if you take their songs and you put them into, a program like Audacity or something like that, and you look at the sound waves, they're peaking all over the place. Because for some reason, all the producers say, well, we need to make this sound better.
So let's make it louder.
Let's make it louder, but that's not true. I think there's a band I like called Elbow, and one of their albums... Hey, that's what they're called!
Wait, Elbow?
Yeah, Elbow.
Just elbow.
Just elbow.
Like my elbow.
Yeah, like your elbow.
I'm gonna look that up.
Are there different albums, different body parts?
I wish they were that creative.
Do they have a concept album called The Human Body?
No, but they do have one called The Seldom Seen Kid, so maybe the Seldom Seen Kid has a Seldom Seen Elbow.
Can you seldom stop talking?
But on the back of one of their albums, they promote a website that I can't remember the name of, but it's essentially about how music producers are turning stuff up, and so Elbow, they recorded their album in like a really good way to the point where they say on the back, if you want to hear the album more, turn up your volume. It's like, yeah,
he's right. They're
right.
Just because you turn it up doesn't mean it's better. In fact, it makes it worse.
Okay, so back after Moth into Flame and the pyrotechnics, what do they do after
They played Wherever I May Come, and then
right, sorry.
And then after Wherever I May Come... No, they played The Unforgiven before, like, a bunch of...
Oh, yeah.
They played The Unforgiven after Now That We're Dead, I think.
No, they played it before Now That We're Dead. They played it after Memory Remains, Unforgiven, and then Now That We're Dead.
Okay.
Moth into Flame, Wherever
They played so many goddamn Black Album songs!
I know, it's like 5 out of 12 or something like that.
Well, the Black Album is the...
They're commercially
it's
most popular... Not popular.
It's their casual album. It's people who aren't even big fans of Metallica. They listen to the Black Album and they say, "Oh,
look,
yeah."
I could have gone with all of them except for The Unforgiven. That's the one song I could have gone without.
I don't know why you hate The Unforgiven so much.
I don't hate it. I just don't like it. Because you hear, that's a good example of, look, you listen to early Metallica, all this fast, heavy stuff, and you listen to The Unforgiven, you're kind of like, I guess it's a power ballad, but it's just kind of weak sounding.
Well, I mean, that's
not the only one. There are a bunch of other Metallica songs that sound weak. Nothing Else Matters. I don't like that song that much. Fucking, The God That Failed. Load and Reload. I mean, are you kidding me?
Oh, I can't wait to load and reload the shotgun later.
Reload turns 20 later this year.
Wow.
Yeah, November.
Wow. Okay.
So they played Hail on Fire, then they did a guitar solo, bass solo, where they played 2 Metallica songs, I Disappear and Anesthesia Pulling Teeth. And then
it's Anesthesia in parentheses pulling teeth.
Very true. And they showed Cliff Burton on the screen, which is cool. Then they played...
He's dead.
Rest in peace. Right. Anyways, they played Hit the Lights.
He's dead.
Which I like Hit the Lights. I wish they would have played Whiplash or Jump in the Fire.
Jump in the Fire is better. Stone and I kind of stayed static for most of the show. At the end, we kind of, broke out into dance. But I was... My 2 things were, if they played Jump in the Fire, I was going to jump in the middle of the circle pit and do my signature dance.
Oh, I would have jumped
which is like spreading my legs and then like swinging my arms back and forth. Just like do 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 do. Like, oh.
And then
that would have been great. And then if they played Spit Out the Bone live, I would have gone into a circle pit and just beat the shit out of somebody.
Dude, did you see the tuning room footage? They played Lords of Summer.
I'm pissed.
I haven't watched the whole tuning room footage. I've only seen about 6 minutes of it.
Well, yeah, that was another thing. It's like, join us. They were scheduled to come on at 8:15, and they were like, join us in the Metallica tuning room at 8:10 at this fucking gay website. That was probably like a porn website, and like their little clip is in the corner. But they went on at 9. We were waiting for 45 minutes.
I honestly had no idea when they were going on. I just assumed it was around 9. But I never really...
and the entire time, I was so fucking thirsty.
Oh,
and all the vendors that were walking around only sold beer. And not only am I not 21, but it was $9, and we only had a 5. So it was just like, unless I want to lose my spot and just miss some Metallica, I'm not getting water.
That's why you have to bring bottled water to every concert.
They don't fucking... Do they let you?
Pretty sure they do, don't they?
They don't let you keep... If it's open, they won't let you. If it's not open, like brand new, they might, but... It's still... Well, let's just assume they won't. It's like airport. They won't let you take anything in the airport if it's, outside of the bag.
Because then they can jack up the prices and you gotta drink and eat.
Yeah, they want you to pay for everything.
Fucking gay.
But anyways, after Hit the Lights...
Gay, you're gay. Fuck you.
They played Sad But True, which I like that one. I was fine with that. And then One
was my favorite because of the effect. Everybody walked off stage out of the last song, and then all of a sudden, like, lasers were pointing everywhere, and you just heard, like, gunshots, and explosions went off, and it was just like, it felt like a war zone, man.
Now, I have a question. So, you said that all Metallica went off the stage.
Uh-huh.
What is your opinion of bands that do that? Because...
Like, to transition songs?
Not even transition songs, but... How do you feel about bands where they leave the stage and it's clearly not over? They clearly have 1 or 2 more songs left for the encore.
Yeah, but it's like, why even call it an encore if you know they're gonna come back on?
That's my thing. See, when I saw Foo Fighters, I saw them like maybe 2 years ago, and something I love was Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl. Bob Dole was on stage, and Bob Dole said, "We don't do this encore stuff. We just play and then we're done. We'll tell you like, hey, this is the last song, and that's when we're done." It's like, hey, that's awesome. Conversely, I saw Pat Metheny a year ago, and I think he went off stage as a fake out about like 3 times. No. And by the 3rd time was like, hey, dude, can you just like play these songs?
Can you quit diddling my dick? I just quit blue balling me here.
What was so great was
Pat.
What was great was there were so many old people at the
they were all dropping like flies.
No, but there were so many old people at the Pat Metheny concert by the first fake out because they're old. They're like, oh, I guess that's the show, even though clearly all the lights haven't flicked on and everything. And even by the second one, they're like, oh, we gotta go, and they like leave and the doors shut, and then Pat Metheny comes back out and he does like a couple more songs. You stupid old idiots.
Yeah, old people are very gullible.
I mean, I'm okay with the whole encore thing. Yeah, I don't like when they do like 2 or 3 encores. It's like, no, 1 is okay. 2, you're kind of pushing it. 3, and I have seen bands. Pearl Jam does that. Pearl Jam will do like 3 encores.
Fuck Gerald Pam.
And hey, seeing Metheny was worth it, but by the 3rd fake, I was like, okay.
Well, it's a cheap trick to get you to like be like, oh, is there gonna be more?
You know what? Oh, I bet Cheap Trick does do like 5 fake outs. They would do that.
Cheap Trick? I don't know anything about Cheap Trick.
So after one,
they played Master of Pup.
And then they played Master of Puppets too.
I tried to get Alex to join me in the Master of Puppets pit for like 30 seconds, and he wouldn't do it.
I'm sorry. I go to a concert. I've never been to a concert before, but I've made this my credo. If I want to go to a concert, I'm going to go to see them play, not to get my fucking dick kicked in by some fat bitches
only just
in a circle pit.
Just one time.
Like, there's just so many donut holes running around. I was just like, I explained this on the podcast, right?
The donut hole
think
thing?
on the first
yeah,
one.
you did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on the first one.
All right. Donut hole is a bald white guy. Let's just put it at that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if this is your first podcast,
He wears Oakley sunglasses and sandals, and
he
yells.
beats his wife in public.
He screams that he didn't get like the 3-cent discount on his frozen yogurt. It's a whole ordeal. It's an epidemic.
Yeah, we need to kill donut holes around the globe.
Donut hole.
But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not about that. The only time I do that is if it was like a song that I really, really, really wanted them to play. That
Like Spit Out the Bone.
Yeah, like spit. I said I was gonna, and I'm serious about this. I was gonna go in. I was gonna wreck shit up. Like, I don't care. That song is fucking epic. It's epic.
So epic.
Epic!
I saw Minecraft in the theater. It was epic.
They played.
I watched
played calm_3 from Minecraft.
No,
Can you imagine?
How many times did they tease Frayed Ends of Sanity?
Oh yeah, they
and
teased.
Eye of the Beholder.
No. During what was the song that they teased? Eye of the Beholder.
Fade to Black.
Yeah,
right after Master of
Oh
Puppets.
yeah, it was this video of the kid from fucking Chronicle. What's his name? He's also in like I forget.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, he was the He was the Green Goblin in Amazing Spider-Man
that guy.
2. Fuck that guy.
Dane DeHaan.
Dane. Fuck.
DeHaan? I can't say his name.
Dan.
The
Okay,
Hand.
whatever. Chronicle shoot up the school kid. He looks like a school shooter. Let's be real.
That's kind of
It was a video where like he was wearing a Metallica shirt and he was fighting against the gas mask people from Fallout, and at the beginning of the video it was like that's the beginning of Eye of the Beholder, right? And all of a sudden James comes out and he's like, however the fuck Fade to Black goes with his dumb acoustic guitar, and it's like, oh, all right, cool.
So did they play Fade to Black?
Yeah.
And they didn't play Eye of the Beholder?
No.
It was stupid.
I mean...
they do that
And
all
Justice
the time.
for All is my favorite album, and it's sad that that's like the one where they're like, nope, it's too hard to play in public. It's too hard to play live. It's just like, but you play one at like every show.
So Master of Puppets was the last one, right?
No, Master of Puppets was not the last one.
Oh.
And then there was Fade to Black, and then they ended it with Seek and Destroy.
And they came out.
And then they left. They were like, "Fuck yeah!" And then they left. And then everyone was like, there was this one asshole who was yelling really loud, and we were just like, "Dude, they're gonna come back on. Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
He was like, "One more song," and we were like, "Shut the fuck up!" And then they come out and they play Battery. And they just had stock footage of people throwing bases, like how-to basic footage of like throwing bases against the ground,
Like ripping chickens in half and like throwing eggs against the
you know how
refrigerator.
fucking hilarious that would have been if they used like a clip of how-to basic,
Oh my god, no.
like just like
No.
eggs thrown.
I just got that. No. I would have left. I would have looked at you.
You
and
would
been like,
not have left.
No,
You
if
would
it was
not
How to
have left.
Basic, I'm not watching Battery with How to Basic videos playing
That'd
in
be
the
so
background.
great.
Okay, here's the thing. Next song that they played. What was the next song they played? It was
Nothing
something
else matters.
off the back album.
And then Sandman.
enter Fagman.
Remember that girl?
Mr. Sandman. What? Bring me a dream. Fuck off. That's
Dude,
Zane.
remember-
That's Zane's joke.
You remember that girl
was
that
funny.
was like kicking bottles or cups right in
Oh
front
yeah,
of us?
like literally everybody. I've never been to a real concert like that before. Like the amount of pot
Oh
and
yeah,
alcohol.
There's so
it's
much.
so much. Like I don't care. I don't mind, but it's so easy to bring it in there. It's like holy shit.
I know they like don't even try.
And like everybody shares the blunt. It's like I don't want to get herpes. Thank you. Thank you for offering though.
So
There's this one chick that like waddled up to us, probably crossfaded, and she like there
Yeah.
were so many solo cups like at my feet, and she like kicked him out of the way. And he's like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." She was like she was the fucking janitor lady, and I was like, I don't care.
So overall, out of 10, how would you rate this Metallica concert?
I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Well, this is the first time that me and Stone have ever seen them live. So
I guess you could rate it in regards to maybe not listenability, because that would probably be like a 1, considering that
I could not hear
Actually,
shit.
let me just say, it wasn't that loud for me. It wasn't that
Well, yeah,
bad.
because you're so used to playing drums, and that shit is
Well,
really
yeah,
loud. So
that's true. There were a couple explosions they did for one that were like, one, I don't know, it felt like it came from under the ground into my stomach.
that's how I felt with the kicks. Fucking Lars was just constantly like. I was like, fuck. I feel like my heart's gonna start beating irregularly, and I'm gonna die.
getting heart palpitations.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, I think I'm suffering.
Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. So we're talking about Metallica now. What happens when Ben comes on? Are we just gonna do this
What happens
all
when
over
Ben
again?
comes on? No, we're not gonna we're gonna talk about him and his job.
Dominoes?
Well, yeah, we're gonna complain about jobs. That'll be the job episode.
That'll be it?
The Steve Jobs episode. Hey, Ben, if you're watching this, comment down below and tell us how you liked your because he had a seat. He had like an actual seat.
Yeah, I was sad. I wish Ben was next to us.
Yeah.
I was how hard he would have dabbed.
Oh no! We saw this one guy in one of the circle pits that looked exactly like him.
I literally thought it was Ben.
Yeah, I thought it was him because he was wearing like a Dragon Ball Z, what was it, tank top? And Ben has a Dragon Ball Z tank top. So I was like, and he had the exact same kind of hair, like shaved at the sides but curly on the top. And I was like, that's Ben. That's gotta be him. And then I looked closer and he looked directly into my eyes. And I've never felt feelings like that for another man, but I knew it wasn't Ben. So I knew it couldn't be.
If it was Ben, though.
If it was Ben, I'd call him a faggot and move on with my life.
Well, then after the show, they came out.
They were like, "Fuck yeah, Phoenix!"
Well, they were throwing.
And then Lars spit on his fans.
Yeah.
But like not like honked a loogie. He like drank water and then spit it out on them.
Well, after
which is still not as.
They're like, yeah.
After
kind of fucking gross.
After the show, they all came out and were throwing shit off the stage. And then I noticed Lars was throwing sticks off, so I ran over.
Oh yeah, I was like, dude, you gotta catch a stick that Lars is gonna throw.
I did.
And he before I finised that sentence, Stone is like out of my line of sight.
Yeah,
he's just in the crowd.
I didn't even hear stick. I heard drum, and I took off. And I actually pushed a lot of people out of the way.
You're like, move! I'm a drummer.
Yeah, I was like, get out of the way.
This is important business.
Move. So I got over there. He's looking at us, and he runs to the other side of the stage. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Then
fucking cock tease.
The James came over and he threw a couple picks and he walked away. And then Robert, the bassist, came over and he threw a bunch of picks that went kind of far. So I thought, oh shit, he might do that again and they might actually get to my area. So I look back up and he throws a bunch of picks in the air. It was almost like in slow-mo. They all came over and I jumped up, hand fully extended, and I felt them hit my hand. So I put my other hand,
and you opened it up and there was a big doo-doo wiener.
Well, I clapped him and I brought him back and I saw that I caught not one but 3. So I put him in my pocket.
That was pretty clutch, I must admit.
Dude, I put him in my pocket and I guess some fell on the ground next to me, but some other people already grabbed them. So I ran back over because it's general mission and we're in the fucking football stadium, the Cardinals play. So we can get lost in 2 seconds flat without even trying. But I found him. And I'm like, hey, guess what?
Because I didn't really move. I was just standing in the same place.
Well, I was like, hey, guess what? I got a pick. And he's like, cool. And I was like, yeah, I got you one too. Here you go. And he's like, that's it? No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. Actually, I think I waited till we got outside, and then I gave Alex the pick. But then we waited outside.
Oh my god, waiting for Ben was like pulling teeth, actually. It was terrible. Because all of our phones were at 7%. And like, he kept calling us, and he was like, where are you guys at? And we're like, we're by the giant one. And he's like, what? And we're like, what? How do you miss it? It's big and it's red and it's outside the stadium.
I just want to have him. That's the one thing. When next time Ben comes on, I am gonna ask him. I was like, Ben, what route did you take? Because literally, it's just you just go back the way you came in, and you gotta have. It wasn't that hard. It was just a sense of direction. You just repeat the way you came in. Also, there can't be that many huge 50-foot ones on the stadium outside.
Yeah, there's only one.
I mean, come on. But we found him, and then I gave him the pick, and he
the pick of destiny.
He literally almost cried when I gave him.
Needless to say.
So then
Ben was stunned.
God damn it! He gave me I gave him the pick, and then we walked back to the car. And we got out of there in like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, seriously. And then afterwards, we wanted to go hang out with Ben at his house. And me and Stone waited in the Whataburger line at the Whataburger drive-thru, and that took long. I'm so
Thanks
sorry.
for spitting on my legs, you mongoloid.
I didn't mean to.
Dude, he spits on me all the time.
On your bare
I
skin.
spit at you.
He spits on my face.
He
got one in both eye one time.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm not. It's not like I'm trying to do that. Jesus.
Dude, you're still spitting on me. So you're at Whataburger.
So we were at the Whataburger. It took longer to get Stone's fucking food, like one burger and a drink, than it took to get out of the Metallica parking lot. And there were like hundreds of thousands of people there.
Now, you guys didn't really tell the story
Well, not
because
hundreds of thousands, but a lot of thousands.
I was there. I was waiting at Ben's house, waiting for you guys in a garage for about an hour. Mm-hmm. Did Whataburger take a long time because the person ordering took a long time, or the person making the food inside the Whataburger was taking a long time?
No, there were plenty of people in there to make it. Just
I think it was the whale in front of us. Just took 8 years to order her. No, that's what happened. She took like so long to order her food, and then she only got like 2 bags worth of stuff.
yeah, she got one bag, and then waited another 10 minutes and got one more bag, and then took off immediately. But also, it was a long line. But I just don't know if they kept fucking up or if people kept changing their orders. But it should not have taken that long. I've gone to that Whataburger with that same line and gone through half the time.
People are ridiculous when it comes to fast food and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I'm a person that when I go to fast food, I'm like, I want this, and this. I just know what I just know what I want when I go there.
You think about it before you get to the menu.
I don't mind if people take their time, maybe I want something different this time. Like, they've been there a lot, but they just want to try something new, so they're looking at the menu.
Yeah,
that's fine. But if they're literally standing in line for like there's 3 people in front of them, and they've been looking at the menu since those, and then they finally get up and they're still like,
they're there. They're standing there.
What's on the ham and cheese sandwich?
Ham and cheese, sir.
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with
Yeah, they're just standing there, mouth opened, gaping like they lost 3 brain cells per
Only
second.
3.
Per second.
Dude, I was telling Alex, I bet these people are saying stupid questions like, hey, do you guys have spaghetti?
Oh yeah, like asking Whataburger. It's like, hey, do you guys have 8-inch hoagies?
No, sir. No, we don't.
Will you have some tomorrow?
No, it's like, what do you guys have? It's like, well, are you in the drive-thru? Yeah. Do you see
Look
the
at
menu?
the fucking menu!
Do you see the menu? Yeah. There you go. I'm blind. I can't see it. It's like,
Then how are you allowed to how are you legally allowed to drive, sir?
Something that bugs me that it really shouldn't bug me because I totally understand it, but when I've been to a place multiple times, I know the process, right? I go up to the counter, I say, I want this, they say your total will be this, and I know whether either to hand the card or to swipe it myself. I just know the stuff. And I shouldn't be blaming people who go to some place for the first time and they don't exactly know the process.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of bugged by it because I'm standing behind them and they're saying stuff like, does this one take credit or debit? And can we get some to-go cups and I'm back there like, oh my god, go!
you know what's worse? When you're in a grocery store and you're standing there and then they pull out the checkbook.
Oh,
and then they write a check.
Oh, that is inane. I hate that.
That still happens?
It still happens. You know what? It's weird because it sounds like nobody does it anymore.
I've never seen that happen before. That's the only reason I'm asking.
I think I've seen it once.
It's terrible. Some people.
But it's always like a 60-year-old man or woman.
Not even a man. I think guys.
It's just women.
Yeah, I don't know what it. For some reason, it's always grandmas.
Guys will avoid writing checks. They would rather cut their nut off than write a check. The only time guys will write a check is when they're multi-million dollars, and they'll be like, "Hey, here's a check, 50 grand. There you go." But if you have a normal, average schmuck who goes to a grocery store, he will not pay with a paycheck for anything.
He'll do cash, credit, or debit. That's it.
Yeah, he would rather buy you 50 Big Macs at the same time than write you a check.
We should also clarify, we're not talking about all women, just old women.
Yeah.
Old women, I think as you see like later down the years when these geezers start dying, I think you'll see that the checks start to like fade away. But something that I think will
Just like their lives.
But I think something that will stay consistent with old women is paying in change. Yeah. Like counting out their pennies, being like, does this add up to a nickel? It's like, well, is there 5 of them or not? If there's 5 of them, it's a nickel.
Don't you think if people are going to pay with change and they're kind of being difficult, you can kind of be like, does this equal 10? It's like, Well, you've been standing there for 2 minutes counting it. Are you really not confident in your answer?
There is one place where counting change is acceptable, and that's the 99-cent store.
Oh my god.
Sometimes you gotta know if you got 99 pennies or not.
They're asking for it.
Yeah, hey, you're right. They totally are asking for it.
You can't really complain when you're called the 99-cent
Yeah,
store.
if you're a cashier and the first thought in your mind is, oh man, are these people really paying with pennies again? You're at the wrong place.
Well, if it's a dollar store, that's all right. It's a dollar. If it's a 99-cent store,
yeah, now we're in some trouble.
Yeah,
holler for dollar.
Dude,
yeah.
You know people are gonna try to be like, hey, here's 98 cents, and you're like,
Oh, just like people who go into Jimmy John. You know how Jimmy John's has those free smells neon signs?
Oh yeah.
And it's always some fucking donut hole. I swear, it always is. They come in and they're like, "Oh, I'm here for the free smells," and he's usually with like his family with like 2 little shit kids and like the grandpa's there and he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt because they're visiting from like Milwaukee, and then they just like walk in, they're like, "Oh, free smells," and then one of the kids barfs on the floor and they leave.
See, it's weird. You would imagine that would be more of like a middle schooler kind of thing to do. Does it happen?
No. Middle schoolers go into Jimmy John's and they get the 50-cent bread and then they leave. Either that or they eat it there and they get crumbs everywhere. Like, I'm speaking as a former Jimmy John's employee. It's miserable.
I would imagine that it would be the middle schooler would be like, hey, can I get some free smell? I don't know why my middle schoolers
No, middle schoolers aren't honestly that bad. It's when you get to freshmen and sophomores that they get, like it's just unbearable.
What is it with freshmen?
No. Because I can recall one night where, like, I just fucking lost it. There was a night where I was a manager and I was closing, and a group of at least 15 young high schoolers, lowerclassmen, walked in and they ordered like one sandwich and like a thing of bread, and they were passing it around, and they literally got crumbs and left their trash and water cups along the entire, like, we have benches lined up along the walls at the one that I was closing at, and they got on every single one. Not a single one was like not covered in trash and garbage. Then they all ran out because they were dicking around at the mall next door. So I clean up all the stuff. 5 minutes after I finish cleaning up, they come back and they order more stuff and they make another mess. And like the second time, I was like, no. You guys, one of you guys is gonna help me clean this fucking mess. And I was serious. Like, I didn't say fucking, but I was like, you guys need to clean up this mess. I already did it the first time. I'm not doing it again. And most of them bailed, but like 2 of them actually helped me. And I was like, your friends are dicks. And they were like,
friends are dicks.
Yeah, because they were like the nice ones of the group. You know, there's always that one nice one that's like, oh yeah, you know, I should kind of, you know, stay around and clean up. But they'll only do that if like someone forces them to, which I did. I put my foot down. I do not do that shit. Whenever I'm at another restaurant, I clean up after myself. I wipe off the table. I, you know, put all our shit together so it's easier for the hostess to take it away.
All 3 of us have worked in restaurants or food service in general, so we know like the get-go. We're like, okay, we come in here, we clean up after ourselves.
Look, it's just don't be an asshole. It's that simple.
But the problem is, some people who have never worked in restaurants and stuff like that don't have that perspective. I'm not saying that they're right, but they don't have that perspective, so they just think that, oh, I should just leave soggy napkins and ketchup-filled condoms on the table because it's their job to clean it up. It's not my responsibility. It's it's
job security.
Yeah, job security. But it should be your decentness as a
sense.
Yeah, your common sense. You should be a decent human being and realize.
Like, I don't expect a person to wipe off all the crumbs off the table.
Yeah,
but like, don't leave all your trash there.
You don't have to get on your hands and knees.
Hold on a second, Alex. When I went to Jimmy John's to eat, I had like 2 crumbs on the table, and you gave me the death stare.
Yeah, because
2 crumbs, and you were like,
because you're my friend and I like giving you a hard time.
That's different.
No. That stare was the same stare you had at Jimmy John's when I would sit in the corner and watch you as rude customers would leave. It was the same look you gave them that you gave to me, and I had 2 crumbs on the table.
What can I say, man? I'm pissed. I gotta protect my fucking tables.
Hold on. This podcast is brought to you by
Song of the Week.
Rivendell by Rush.
Nah, that's Stairway to Heaven.
It's not one of their best songs.
Oh, sweet child of mine. Turn that shit
off. This podcast is brought to you by Dippin' Dots. I like it, but you're expensive.
This broadcast is brought to you by Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It was alright, but there was no Garfield in it. 0 out of 10.
This podcast is brought to you by My Toes. Come get them.
Come get them. Alright, what do we talk about now, boys?
How about
we reviewed Metallica and we complained about food.
Why is the SpongeBob SquarePants movie video game so shit compared to the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom?
It's not that
It's
bad.
not that bad, but the problem is that Battle for Bikini Bottom is structured more in the way that, like, Super Mario 64 is structured.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know what that is.
Super Mario 64 is like there's a hub world, and then you go to the different worlds, and then there's stuff to do within those worlds. A game like Super Mario 3D Land is more like you go from level to level completing tasks, and you can go back to recomplete stuff you haven't completed.
I never thought of it like that.
And
It
that's
is like that.
Yeah, that's more comparable to that because the SpongeBob SquarePants movie video game is more linear. You go from level to level, and you can go back if you want, but there's not really any hub world that you can go to. It's just like you just navigate through menus if you want to go to a previous level.
Is
The game-
shitty.
No, it's
The game-
fun.
The gameplay's not shitty.
I
It's
think
just
it's
like
shitty.
You didn't even play it.
okay. The only thing I think
played
the
whole
only thing I
game
think is
before.
shitty are the paddy wagon sections.
Yes.
Fuck the paddy wagon
Oh
sections.
no, the paddy wagon sections are not fun, and the
sliding ones are fun in my opinion.
Those are okay.
the ones that are not fun is where you have to use SpongeBob's guitar ability, and you have to go through Superman 64 rings.
Oh yeah, no, that one.
Those
sucks.
ones are not fun in the slightest because there are many a scenario where you have to go through a ring, and it will require you to go straight down or straight up, and there's no way to tell on your first go through.
Also, funny bit of trivia. It's really funny to me because I never noticed this before. But I never knew that Mindy was voiced by Scarlett Johansson.
He didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
that.
I
thought everyone knew
never
that.
knew that. And
Not in
it's
the
like-
game, but in the movie.
No, in both. So it caught me off. So it caught me off guard too. That like in the SpongeBob the movie video game, just like she pops up and I hear SpongeBob, you gotta collect more Goofy Goober tokens or else I won't give you a hand job. And it's just you think about it, it's like that's Scarlett Johansson's voice. Someone paid her to say Goofy Goober tokens.
Not just that, but
It's like
was,
it's kind of cringy. It's weird.
no, but it's the video game,
But-
so it did not take that long. She probably could have busted those lines out in a day.
My heart broke a little bit the other day because an actor that's very near and dear to my heart, Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
I saw the movie that I'm about to mention, but I didn't know or I forgot that he was in the Green Lantern movie.
He was.
He was. Do you remember the guy who got infected with like the yellow stuff and he got a big head?
I never saw Green Lantern.
Okay. Well, there's a guy, and he's like a scientist or whatever. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, and I don't plan to watch it again. But he got infected, and Tim Robbins is his dad. And I was watching. I was like, that kind of looks like Tim Robbins. So I went on Wikipedia or IMDb,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, that breaks my heart. Because Tim Robbins, I love Tim Robbins. He's like one of my favorite actors, and he seems like a really nice guy. So, and I look at this, and I'm just thinking to myself, you took the role of rich father in the Green Lantern, starring Hollywood actor Ryan Reynolds, coming to you this summer, see it in IMAX in 3D. What's wrong with you, Tim Robbins?
What's wrong with you? Ugh. Green Lantern.
Hey, that Green Lantern brings up an interesting segue because I had this idea today. I'm imagining that the people who are listening to this podcast are very, very smart, or at least average intelligence, so they don't need me to tell them don't see the Emoji Movie. And
Why are we talking about the Emoji Movie?
well, this is because so like when you hear Green Lantern and the Emoji Movie and Transformers 5,
It's just
and
like-
all these movies.
You think it's so bad. Everyone's saying it's so bad. So I gotta go see it myself to
Exactly.
see how bad it is.
People are going to these showings ironically.
No.
But it's true. They
No,
go to
yeah,
the,
it
they
is
go
true.
they go to the Emoji Movie. They go to Transformers 5. They go to all these different ones, and they say either they use one of two excuses. I gotta know how bad it is, and or I'm just like I gotta see with a group of friends because it'll be funny just to see how bad it is. The problem is when you're watching it, if you're watching it ironically or not, you're putting money into the pockets of the people who produce this garbage. So whether or not you're
whether or not you didn't enjoy it and you're like, hey, this movie sucks. Yeah,
you-
man, I feel sorry for anyone else who saw it. Yeah, you're one of those people that just saw it, you dumbass.
if you know the movie's gonna suck, don't watch the movie.
Well, not just that, don't pay to watch it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's another thing. Look, I don't condone piracy. I try to buy every single thing I do. Or not do, watch.
Everything I do.
Everything I do.
I buy a step when I take a step.
I take a step, I place a penny on the ground so I know where I've been. But no, when I watch a movie or I play a game or I listen to an album, for the most part, it's something that I bought. But if you're expecting me to listen to Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets, well, actually, that was a free album, but I'm going to pirate it anyway. And it's just these movies that are garbage. They're trash. But people still pay to go see them. And hey, little asterisk on this note, if you have if there's a movie that you actually want to see because you think you might enjoy it, go for it, have fun. But when you see stuff like the Emoji Movie that's pretty much universally said, this is garbage, this is crap, don't see it, don't watch it. Ironically, I don't understand.
Yeah, don't go to see it because you're just curious of how bad it is. Just don't.
People think they're proving a point, saying, "Oh, it's so bad, I gotta go see it." And then, like you said, "Oh, I feel bad for anyone who watched it and paid for it." It's like you're literally saying what you just did. Fuck off.
And I actually questioned Alex about this a little bit earlier today because I asked him, with that philosophy, what about Transformers 5? And Alex said that he actually thought Transformers 5 could have some redeeming qualities.
It could have somehow, like...
Somehow.
Dude,
hey, in some form.
When I was little, I thought Unicron was the coolest fucking shit. I swear. And when I saw that trailer, I thought that the Cybertron was Unicron. And I was like, dude, I gotta go see it because of Unicron. Like, there's this one scene that I love in that movie. It's the only scene that I really, really enjoy. It's where that little girl is in the junkyard as Cybertron's just passing the moon, and you can see like the moon kind of like it's like dusk, I think, and the moon is like you can't really see it that well. I'll flash it up on screen, and Cybertron's right next to the moon. It just looks so cool, like how it's like kind of in this.
But it wasn't worth the admission.
It was not worth the admission.
Wasn't that thing like 2.5 hours long?
Yeah, it was. It was unbearable.
That's probably the worst part. Was the fact that it was unbearable and it took forever.
No, and
Why did you just leave?
Because I was with.
He was with his brother.
I still would have left.
Leave your brother. Hey, you're on your own.
No,
hey, I'll be waiting in the car.
No, I'll give him the option. I'm like, all right, look, I'm leaving. You can either stay, or
you can either stay and have mom pick you up in like an hour, or
we can go now and just go home.
No, but
I'll buy you a soda pop. You can pick your flavor.
But no, it was not worth it at all. But I thought it could have been fun, but I was wrong. So.
Yeah, I think if they were to try to be fun and not take themselves so seriously.
But like, it wasn't like the Emoji Movie where literally everybody who sees it is like, no, this is absolute garbage. Don't see it. There weren't any reviews like that for Transformers, even though it's usually.
It's Transformers.
It's usually people consider the Transformers movies like, oh yeah, of course it's gonna suck. Don't go see it.
Let me just say what you just said about why do people go out. It's kind of like, you could say the same thing about why I watch some of the Saw movies. Thing is, though, is I never paid to see one single Saw movie. I just watch it on TV or on the computer.
Not only that, but at the very least, even if they're not very good movies, except past the first one, because the first one has some interesting ideas.
Yeah, the first one was good. It wasn't. Okay, that's debatable. I won't say it's great. It is good.
Oh, well, the thing about the first Saw movie is that the traps are a neat idea and the concept interesting. The dialogue and the characters suck.
Well, the thing is that you got a really good actor, Cary Elwes, and then the other guy who was the screenwriter of the movie, who played Adam, cannot act for his life.
No.
So you can't have Robert De Niro doing a scene with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
You can't do it unless it's a comedy, but even then. But the thing with the first Saw movies, it's not just about the gore. The other sequels are about the gore. And that's what kills it.
That's what ruined it. Yeah. Hey, at the very least, though, even by aren't they making a new Saw movie too?
Yeah, it's called
Jigsaw. So it's like the Rocky movies where like
wait, are they
instead of numbering them, they just
did
the full name.
What they're doing now? Wait, is it a continuation?
It's a continuation.
Okay, because there is a trend in movies where it's like basically a soft reboot, as like some people like to put it, and. How do you guys feel about it? I'm torn on it.
That's what the new Pirates of the Caribbean was considered. It was a a soft reboot, and you can kind of see it. It wasn't very good, but you can see it.
Depending on what franchise it is, I think
Star Wars did it really well. Even if you don't like the movie per se, I think what they did was smart. Because they said, if we just jump into this and we throw in a whole bunch of new stuff, people are going to hate it. But we're recording this pre-episode 8. So I want to say, I think they did it right. If they continue what they did with episode 7 into episode 8, they're messing up big time.
Yeah, if they just do episode 5 all over again,
yeah,
it won't be good.
And
if they kill Luke Skywalker, I will boycott Star Wars.
You're banning Star Wars? Yeah, it's banned.
Well, he's the last Jedi, so of course he's gonna die.
He better not die.
Well, Jedi is plural.
He could retire. He doesn't have to die. He could be like, hey, I'm stepping down.
You can't be Luke Skywalker and just retire.
That's possible.
What the fuck do you think he was doing on that stupid island the entire time?
He retired. He stepped away. That's what people do.
First Order comes to his island door. They're like, and he's like, hey, you can't get me. I'm retired. And they're like, man, just get back in the spaceship. And they just leave. They're like, that's it. The guy's like, why didn't you kill Luke? He's retired. Oh, he's retired. I hope he's doing okay.
I hope, yeah. Is he still getting his retirement checks?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Is Ford still paying him?
Just because it's Star Wars doesn't mean normal retiring.
No, I get it.
You could say that. I'm not saying... Look, I don't want them in the movie to say Luke Skywalker retired.
No, I get it.
That's stupid.
He does a thing like Yoda does where he steps down from that Jedi
He
pedestal.
disappeared.
Yeah.
He did the cool way. He did the Jack Bauer and just disappeared.
So, do you think that Han Solo is actually still alive and he'll come back in the 9th movie as a cyborg?
No, he's... You know what, though? If they did that, I don't think I'd be mad. I think I'd be like oh, I didn't expect that.
I'd be it's like, I expected nothing and I was still let down.
It'd be like that scene in Anchorman where he's just like, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Oh, yeah.
I would be a little frustrated, but I wouldn't be mad.
I don't know what... Saying that reminded me, the best part of the Anchorman is when Jack Black's a biker and just throws the dog off the bridge.
That's how I roll.
It's like the best part of the movie. Cause
it's a total stuffed animal, too.
Yeah, because you can totally tell it's a stuffed animal. What I love about that scene is Will Ferrell's like, hey, what are you doing with him? What are you doing with him? And Jack Black just hucks him off the bridge.
That's how I roll.
Jack Black is a fucking... Jack Black is a genius in some instances, but in the Goosebumps movie, he needs to just stop.
Was the Goosebumps movie bad? I heard it was okay.
I saw it, and it was... But that's the thing. It was just okay. People can say what they want about Tenacious D. I honestly think it's great.
I love Tenacious D.
It's a fun bro movie.
The Tenacious D...
And, the plot isn't even half bad. It's like...
The only thing about the Tenacious D movie is that the Tenacious D movie is made for Tenacious D fans.
Yeah.
If you're not a fan of Tenacious D, you're going to get nothing out of this.
That's true.
Hey, let me just say, my parents are Tenacious D fans.
Oh, really?
They said they hated the movie.
No kidding.
They did.
My dad doesn't like the movie.
I remember when they rented that movie, when Blockbuster was still around, when I was like 9, 10 years old. I remember looking at the Pick of Destiny, that thing, and I was like, Tenacious D, is it good? And my dad was like, no, it was actually really bad. I didn't like it. And I was like, but don't you like Tenacious D? He's just like, yeah, I hated it, didn't like it.
See, I don't know, what were people expecting from a Tenacious D movie, though? Were they expecting
Scorsese level directing?
If you're expecting a follow-up, a spiritual successor to Apocalypse Now in a Tenacious D movie, you're very mistaken. You're going to get a Tenacious D movie.
Citizen Kane of band movie.
Look, people take movies too serious. People want it to be so funny, and then they get it and they're like, they should have backed off. But then people want a serious movie and they're like,
okay,
that was so serious.
Yeah. The funniest part of that movie is when they're in the bar halfway to the Rock and Roll History Museum, and Kyle chooses tits over Destiny. And Jack Black's like, all right, pick's mine. Fuck you. I don't even... Cock ass! And then he knocks over the thing of...
he knocks over, the postcards or whatever it was.
It's like... That doesn't affect Kyle. Some asshole from the diner has to clean that up.
And Jack Black's like, I don't need a ride. I'll take the Shoelace Express.
I gotta watch that movie.
Oh, God. It's so funny.
From one of the funniest lines in that movie to me, still, after all these years, is Jack Black in the woods just going, I'm glad these found these mushrooms. I was starving.
Oh, I'm glad I found these mushrooms. I was fucking starving.
It's so funny. I don't know why I'm glad I found these. I was so starving.
Wait, Alex,
say fucking. It's all right.
Yeah.
Alex, what was that thing where you said Jack Black plays the same role in every movie? Where he's trying to pay rent.
Oh yeah. Jack Black plays
that's true.
Except in the Goosebumps movie, he's not trying to pay rent there.
He wasn't also paying rent in Tropic Thunder. But he wasn't also the main character in that one too.
Yeah.
So we'll let it slide.
Yeah, all right.
Jack Black in Tropic Thunder is
Jack
amazing.
Black was trying to pay rent in Tenacious D. He was trying to pay rent in School of Rock. He was trying to pay rent in...
Saving Silverman, kind of.
What
Was
about
he?
Nacho Libre?
Was he trying
Yeah.
to put? He was trying to pay rent in Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I never
Well,
saw
he's
Nacho.
trying-
Dude,
Money?
he's always paying.
Well, I guess it's not rent, but he's trying to get money to buy stuff for the orphan. So I guess that he's trying to save.
He's
up money.
trying to build up money to pay something.
I feel like Jack Black's movie career is just him trying to live vicariously through people who have to actually struggle to pay rent. Because he's well off. He doesn't have. He's like, I just got to know what it's like. So he plays all these roles where he has to he's never taken a role where he has to pay rent and then doesn't get the rent.
Okay, what's
he
the-
always gets the rent.
I know.
What's the one serious role Jack Black was in where he wasn't that funny?
Oh,
If you can name one, I know one. I want to see if you can get it.
Oh man,
Was that King Kong?
Yes.
it was King Kong.
Do you know how out of place he was in that movie?
Yeah, because he's so serious. It's
Even
just
as an
like-
8-year-old kid, or whenever it came out, I looked at that movie and I was like, "That's not right."
Hey, I love Peter Jackson and the work that he does. The CG in that movie has not aged well.
It didn't age well.
It didn't.
The first
It
time.
didn't look that. Here's the thing, though. It didn't look that good when it first came out. You look at it now. The worst example is Jack Black and like a bunch of the other explorers. They're fighting worms
Or I was
in
gonna
like
say the
a
running of
cave.
the dinosaurs.
That one's really bad too. But the worms one is even worse because you can clearly tell that they're on a green screen and Peter Jackson, he has his like little.
You can see a
he has,
shadow.
He
in the
has his
background.
you can see a shadow. He has his megaphone. It's like, okay, in this scene, do what you feel like, action. And they're just like taking sticks and like the butts of shotguns, and they're like butting away things. They don't know what's there.
I actually own the King Kong movie. The whole thing, uncut, is 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's Peter Jackson for you.
You don't see King Kong for like the first hour and 10 minutes. And when they bring King Kong back to New York, you still got like another 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm repeating half of this because of the CinemaSins video, but I've also seen the movie before.
yeah.
It's just, also like The Matrix Reloaded. You know all the fight scenes in that where
Yeah,
Neo
yeah.
fights all the 100,000 Smiths?
Mhm.
Watch that scene again. It doesn't look good.
What was the nickname that they gave to that scene? Because there's like a famous.
Oh,
nickname
yeah.
that they gave.
Butthole Surfer.
It was the butthole surfer scene. Yeah, that's it.
I know what you're talking about, I just can't remember it.
Yeah.
I could look it up.
If you, Alex, flash it up on screen. There it is.
Wait, the name of the thing?
The name
Here,
of
I
the
I'll
scene.
just look it up
Yeah,
right
sure.
now.
There you go.
I'm not
it's
flashing.
it's
I'm
like
not
one
flashing
word.
up.
Flash up something different.
I'll flash
Anything you want,
Oh, okay. It's the picture of the black guy sucking his own dick.
except that
No,
one.
not that one.
All right.
With,
Fine.
with King Kong, yeah, and Jack Black in that,
One man, one jar.
it was. With
Again,
Jack
no.
Black in that scene, the part I can't take seriously is when he's like, Curiosity killed the beast, and it's like, I can't, dude.
Curiosity
Oh,
killed
yeah.
the beast.
Whatever
and
he
the
said-
beast was stunned. Whip crack went his rumpy tail. And the beast was done.
No. It was Beauty killed the beast.
Oh, that's what he said. You're like, no, it was
Last-
Beauty killed the beast.
Wasn't that the last
No.
line in the movie?
Close
No,
to
it was Miranda Cosgrove that killed the beast.
Hey, didn't they release a King Kong movie recently?
Yeah,
Oh,
King Kong
Burly
Skull
Brawl.
Island.
Was it good?
I got it.
I saw it. It was
Oh,
alright.
what's the name of the scene?
Burly Brawl.
The Burly Brawl. That's it.
And then the freeway scene was Interbell.
Interbell. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait. Did you said you didn't see?
I did see it.
You did see it. Was it
Yeah.
good?
It was your typical action movie.
What?
It had Samuel L. Jackson. It had...
Oh, the new King Kong movie?
Yeah.
I never saw it. I wanted to.
you wanted to!
Yeah. Tell us about. I honestly don't know anything about it. I heard it was
Like,
decent. Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically, it's like the fucking Godzilla movie that came out a while ago.
With Bryan
where it's
Cranston?
like, yeah, with Brian.
Okay.
But I don't even say starring Bryan Cranston because he dies like 1/3 of the way through the movie.
I know.
So he's not a main character.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. well,
Who cares? The movie sucked. Don't go see it.
It didn't suck. It wasn't great, though.
Yeah, Godzilla. He's on screen for like 3 whole seconds. Wow, so good.
Hey, you do have to
like-
like it though when he's vomiting down another monster's throat hole.
Oh, my God. Or the first time you hear him.
Where he's just
roar.
like, no, but by the way, speaking of Godzilla, the King Kong movie that came out, it teased a Godzilla movie. So
did it really?
Yeah, I guess
Wow.
that's what we're getting next.
Well, King Kong versus Godzilla. That's
Wow,
the classic monster movie mashup.
a movie that no one really asked for, but are okay with it.
Except that we have asked for it for like tens.
I've never
years.
heard one person except for one guy ask for that movie.
Okay, shut up. I'm just kidding. The movie, yeah, Sam Jackson. So that's what you can expect from there's John Goodman. Fucking
John Goodman's in it?
Yeah, John Goodman. He's like one of the main characters.
John Goodman.
Who's the guy that played the other stepbrother in Step Brothers? Not Will Ferrell.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, him. He's in that. He's
Loki.
in there.
Tom Hiddleston.
You're fucking kidding me. Oh yeah, Tom Hiddleston was in that one.
Wait,
You
was he
fucking
really?
kidding me?
He was.
Yeah.
I forgot. I totally forgot because his character is so forgettable.
But
Because he's just the smooth talking Brit that like the mercenary who doesn't play by the rules. It's like,
Oh, can we talk about that real quick?
ugh.
That's a problem I have in movies nowadays.
doesn't play by the rules.
I mean, he doesn't.
Not even the doesn't play by the rules. I mean, that's kind of a tired cliche. But the cliche of recent is, we got to get the army in. Like Independence Day and I mean, the first one had the military, but even in that one, the military is like, they mess up, right? Don't they use a nuke and it doesn't work?
How
I
come
think
the
so.
military already messes up in movies? How come they never do something right?
Hey, not recently. Like in Jurassic Park, they're just like riding on motorcycles, just shooting velociraptors sideways in the head.
Are you gonna see the new Jurassic World
No.
movie, Fallen Kingdom?
Is there one coming out?
Yeah, next year.
Are you serious?
And it's literally called Fallen Kingdom, and I'm very upset.
Didn't the kingdom already fall?
I guess it's about to fall.
I'm gonna fall over when I go see.
They're
that
gonna
movie.
rename the first one Jurassic Park. Shaking the foundation.
George Lucas is gonna. He wasn't even a part of
It
it.
wasn't. It was Steven. No, Steven Spielberg didn't direct that one, did he? I know he obviously did.
He did
the
1 and
original.
2. He didn't do the third one.
Who did the third one?
Joe Johnston.
That movie stunk anyway. So
I'm actually gonna look that up, see if I got it right.
I don't know about you guys. I had no desire to see. I don't have a desire to see most movies. I think I see one a year. I had no desire whatsoever to see the new Jurassic Park.
Yeah, because Chris Pratt was in it.
I don't even mind Chris Pratt, but
Wow, I was in Park and Recreation.
Oh, I got it right. Joe Johnston.
hey, good one.
Hey.
What else has he done?
Nothing.
Damn it. I think he did the Twilight Zone movie, like a segment of it.
Oh, okay.
I think.
There was a Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah, it came out in the 80s. You don't know about that? You don't know about the helicopter accident?
What?
One of the actors died, and two
Oh,
kid
yeah?
actors died because a helicopter crashed on them while they were filming it.
Oh shit.
I know this is kind of off topic. It's on the topic of movies, but do you guys remember that rumor for the longest time about the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, the hanging munchkin.
The hanging munchkin. Was that ever real or
They're never gonna confirm that. Are you kidding
The
me?
what?
if you look at a certain part of this, you can flash up on screen if you want to. If you just look up Wizard of Oz hanging munchkin real dead, question mark. It'll pull up a picture, and supposedly in one of the scenes where they're just like walking through the woods, you know, arms swinging, there's like a munchkin that's hung, and I think it was an accident. It could be real.
It literally could be real.
Everyone, I think it's common knowledge at this point. Have they like removed it from special editions?
Oh yeah, they
Goku
totally
Super
have.
Goku Super Saiyan 8 real?
It's real.
Gone sexual.
I'll mention that super quick.
Quake.
Mega 64 showed me this. Not personally, they weren't like, yo, check this out. Zane.
Mega 64 is one person.
Yeah, Mega 64. Ooh. No, but on the Mega 64 podcast, they had mentioned that there's a video called SSJ8. And the video is of Goku with like black and white and I think like blue hair, and it's hyper realistic. It's like really crappy.
It's not hyper realistic.
Not
It's just
hyper-realistic.
it's just the threshold is put up so it like looks more edgy.
Mm-hmm. And the description says something along the lines
Like,
of, I'm not sure just
ju-
real. Or just uploading. And what's great is Mega 64 will go into the comments like once every couple of years and they'll just ignite it again. They just ask, could be real? Does anyone know is real? And even people like Hot Diggity Demon,
And
who does animations,
other
The-
famous.
yeah, they go into the comments and everyone's like, could be real.
Has Shane Dawson ever? Okay, one thing I want to mention, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about,
Yeah.
but I really hate it when big YouTubers think they have all this clout and then they go on, they're like, I'm a bisexual, and they're crying. It's like, yeah, join the club, asshole. No, seriously. What? Oh, Fred's gay. Everyone knew he was gay, and when he came out as gay, everyone was like, yeah, all right.
Yep, that's about
nothing's
right.
different. But when Shane Dawson and Fred was the first person to ever reach a million subscribers.
Isn't that weird to think?
Was he really?
Yeah, Fred. I think like Shane Dawson or Niga Higa or someone like that was like second or third.
Hey, in hindsight, Nigahiga's kind of a weird name to say. If you mess that up, you're in trouble.
If you say it to the wrong person,
are they still around?
I don't know, honestly.
Like seriously, all those people that were around during the good dope days of YouTube,
quote unquote.
good dope days. Shane Dawson.
Yeah, there's the hanging thing.
Yeah. Oh shit. Shane Dawson,
Fred, Niga
Higa.
If you want to lump in iJustine, no,
Smosh.
What about that?
Oh,
the annoying orange.
What the buck? Remember that guy?
What
happened to that guy?
I don't know. I think after helping the irate gamer, he just kind of dropped off.
He helped the irate gamer?
Yeah, in one of the irate gamer videos, he helps him out.
Did he actually?
He did. I swear to God, I'll pull it up.
Who else was in that quote unquote good dope day era?
Rooster Teeth count?
Rooster Teeth is still kicking it today.
No. They're still pretty good. They're still on their A game. They're not. Well, I wouldn't say
they're not as good as they used to be.
I would say, you know what? If the fact that they're still holding conventions and they're still having tons of people go, they're doing good, man. They're still kicking it. I do. Sorry to cut you off. Real quick thought.
Yeah, no.
I kind of wish that Rooster Teeth would just focus on one thing. If for some reason someone working at Rooster Teeth, for whatever reason, is listening to this, I like you guys. You guys do good work. But I feel like they're just expanding too much to a broad audience.
There's too much to take in.
They have Red versus Blue over here.
And Are they still doing that?
They're still doing
it.
And
then they have fucking Ruby over here.
Then they have Ruby over here. Then they have their main podcast that they do, which actually is a good podcast.
It is. I used to listen to it.
Then they have all the Achievement Hunter stuff, and then there's subsections within the Achievement Hunter stuff. Then there's branches of Funny Guys and Funhouse and Cow Shop.
And they made a movie.
They're making a sequel. They're
making a sequel?
Yeah.
My God.
Here's the thing, though. Good for them for I'm assuming they're making a boatload of money.
Are you shitting me? They're making
a studio. Anyone who has a studio now
and if that's the case, you know what? Good for them. I wish them the best of luck. But on a personal level, I look at what they're doing, and I think, I just wish that. I'm not saying do one thing, don't ever change, because obviously, how do you expand as a company and an artist? But when there's a certain point where it's too broad. Sorry, I cut you off.
There's too much going on.
I was just gonna finish my statement where it's like fucking Fred came out as gay and everyone was like, okay, but then like Shane Dawson's like, I'm bi, and he's on the he's in front of his camera and he's crying. He's like, I don't know how my audience would react. It's like no one cares.
He stuck his finger down his throat. He stuck his finger down his throat and puked up in the toilet to get those tears running, and he wipes the meat chunks off his chin.
Yeah, no, seriously, I remember seeing that video, and it's like, good for him for coming out, but literally no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit.
Crying YouTubers are the weirdest thing.
Markiplier, every time he gets another sub, he posts. Every time he gets another...
Markiplier's good.
He's not gay, is he?
No, Markiplier's not gay. I'm not... But he, like, every time he gets a new subscriber on YouTube, he posts a video and he's like, I'm so emotional. I love all my subscribers.
Does he really?
And then his next video
he cries a lot.
Does he really?
From what I remember.
I mean, out of the three, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie, I like Markiplier the most, but he's still kind of unbearable.
I like PewDiePie. I don't watch his content at all, but I like PewDiePie as a person.
How do you feel about the whole PewDiePie thing happened?
I didn't care.
Oh, when they were like, he's a Nazi propagandist. It's like, who?
You know what?
That entire thing was pointless, stupid, did not matter, and no one cares about it anymore.
Along with all that Disney Channel or Disney just cut ties with him.
That's what I hated, was the fact that he wasn't able to make a joke about this thing without them bringing the hammer down.
Well, I just heard about
dumb.
it. Yeah. I didn't see the I finally saw the video of it, and you can see by his reaction that he was pretty shocked by the whole thing. So he wasn't being serious. Yeah. But even then, I wouldn't have said it, and I still think he shouldn't have said it.
What about the Tobuscus rape allegations?
What?
Oh, you don't know about that? Okay. So. That's another one that was along with... He was kind of after, like...
Yeah, kind of after the first wave. He was like the second wave.
But Tobuscus was, part of that kind of... Tobuscus, iJustine, The Annoying Orange...
Wait a second.
Ray William Johnson was first wave, kind of. He was in between.
Yeah, he was like 1.5
yeah,
wave.
Equals 3. But yeah, Tobuscus... A long time ago, probably like a year now, he had rape allegations set against him. Did anything happen with that? Is he still making videos?
I think he's still making videos.
Wasn't there a YouTuber that had rape allegations thrown at him like a month or two ago?
Oh,
Leafy is here.
no,
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
I think I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about. There was this. I think he was like in
Like a month ago.
a YouTuber or something like that, and it was allegations of him like provoking underage girls. I think that's what it was.
Oh yeah, he was
Well,
asking
that
them to
happens
send
like once
videos.
every 6 months. There's always some fucking YouTube
I
guy.
like how Alex is like, well, that happens one every 6 months. So
No,
what are we gonna-
seriously! Like, there's always a story of some idiot, like, trying to coerce little girls on YouTube. No, with, like, Minecraft sing-alongs. Who cares?
People
cares?
are luring little children into their Minecraft servers and then having their Minecraft avatars undress in front of them and getting like arrested for it. We live in like such a weird time where it's like
This is 2017.
I was harassed so badly in this Minecraft server, I got PTSD. So
What a fucking... Just jump off the cliff. It's not worth it.
I don't understand these people who. How could you have gotten such a traumatic experience from something like Roblox? I mean, I maybe that's just
Has
me.
anyone... Has there ever been a story where someone said, I was triggered by Roblox?
I'm sure if you Google it, something will pop up. If you Google it, something non-ironic will pop up. Maybe not even non-ironic, just non-playful. Like they're actually serious. Like I went to this Roblox server and all the characters were standing in the form of a swastika. It's like just turn off the computer and get out of the server. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, people just people make stuff up to get triggered about. Like
Oh, completely.
you have to actually like look into it and be like, there's racism in this movie, and you watch it and you're trying to find the racism. You're like, where is it? But now I
watch
can't.
Uncle Tom's Cabin. And it's like I can't find
can't
the
find
race. Can't find the racism.
No, they'll say stupid stuff like they'll say
Sorry.
like, the man with two brains starring Steve Martin promotes racism. So you watch the movie and you're like, okay, I don't see it. And second of all, I won't be able to look at the movie ever again the
Yeah.
same way. So thanks for ruining a movie for me.
On the same line, though, when you're on the same line, if you're looking at something like that, and if you go into a Roblox server and you see like KKK propaganda popping up everywhere,
Just leave.
well, not only just leave, you should probably report that.
Even
I think
then,
you
like,
should.
report it and then leave. Just
If there's something that's actually racist and actually harmful like that,
Well, they're
call
not-
it out.
Well, I mean, you can't... Well, you could probably ban it, but... That's the one thing I've always hated. It's like, you can't tell, like, fucking KKK members on the street to, like, stop, because it's free speech. Even, like, no matter what they're saying.
yeah,
like,
it's-
unless they incite violence, then
It's
so dumb.
It's a weird kind of paradox.
It's a weird paradox, but it's like...
it's like there's no law saying you can't say fuck you in public, but it's not a good idea to do it because but people
Yeah,
still
there's
do
no
it.
law that says you can't, like, stick your middle finger and flash a fucking cop with your wee-wee.
No,
but,
there-
I mean, you do it and you're going to jail.
Wait,
for
are you
6
doing it?
months.
My favorite one is there's no rule saying I can't flip off a baby. I tell that to people all the time, and they're like, "Why would you do that?" I'm
It's like the baby's not gonna remember.
Well, I say that, and then I'm like, "What if the baby started?"
Yeah,
it?
like he's like 9 years old. He's in like kindergarten. He's in like 3rd grade, and one of his friends flips him off, and he just suddenly like freezes. He stiffs up, and all of a sudden
His eyes holds into the back of his head. He's like, oh, I gotta tell an aide. And he goes to like an aide. Which, by the way, that's a weird thing in of itself. We're telling people on AIDS.
Okay.
AIDS are our friend in elementary school.
Okay. Does it piss you off that Mario's mustache is a different color than his hair?
No, not really. My facial hair is a different color than my regular hair.
Because I'm gonna take a picture of this, flash this up on screen. I'm wearing Mario pants right now, and it's always bugged me how Mario's hair is like reddish brown, but his mustache is jet black.
and his eyebrows.
And his eyebrows. The outline of his body is a lighter color than his mustache and
I will say,
eyebrows.
if you look at something like Mario Odyssey, the colors are pretty closer together.
Well, yeah,
but
like,
what's on your pants right now is unexcusable, and I will report it.
Shigeru Miyamoto, you better watch out. You got a lawsuit coming.
Shigeru, your job's on the line. I'm
will
coming
ban
after
it.
you.
Ban those pants.
Ban this sick filth.
Also, can I just say I'm seeing Primus tonight,
Oh yeah.
and that's gonna be. Jerry was a race car driver.
We were talking about that last night, and I made the joke that Les Claypool has actually never touched the bass. He just attaches an iPod Nano to the back of his bass of Porky Pig going, and that's what's playing on stage. And everyone's like, Les Claypool, Muy epico.
And he's like,
Epico.
and he's like, my name is Mud.
My name is
My name is Mud. Man, I have to say, Primus was definitely ahead of their time. With
Are
their
you?
music.
Yeah, a lot of the bands are. They're still ahead of the time
Oh,
nowadays.
a funny South Park song.
They did do the theme song to South
Remember
Park.
when you
didn't
found
they?
that out for the first time? You're like, Primus did the theme song for South Park? That's fucking humorous.
No. That's humorous. That gave me a good chuckle. No, dude, my dad told me that when I was little. He's like,
I think my dad told me too.
you know who made
My dad
this?
didn't tell me anything.
I remember my first time watching South Park. My dad showed it to me. My
dad
mom was
showed
like,
it?
"You showed him South Park," and my dad was like, "Yeah."
See, it's the other way around for me.
It's funny.
My mom took me and my sister. No. She stopped what me and my sister were doing before school, and she's like, "I want to show you guys a video." You know what she showed me? She showed me Uncle Fucker.
Oh my gosh.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
And from that day, you were probably changed forever.
No, that was like
I wanna
a
beat
junior
these
in high
guys.
school. I was a junior or senior in high school, and she like stopped what we were doing and walked out to the computer, looked it up herself, and showed it to us. And she was laughing so hard, and I looked at her and I was like, "Why are you showing me this?" And she's like,
This is epic.
I was like, "This is humorous, but why are you showing this to me?"
Like, this is from like 1990 something. Why are you showing me this?
Fucking Bill Gates. No, it's like fucking Windows 98. Get Bill Gates in here.
I'll tell you what. Windows 95. Someone on SoundCloud, I'm sure you can find on YouTube too. They took all of the Windows startup sound effects and they took it into Audacity and they pause stretched it. So the sounds are just stretched out and ambient. They sound really nice. Windows 95 has the best one, bar none. The worst one is like Windows 7. I think Windows XP is pretty good.
Windows 7 is just like boo doo. That's it.
Well, no. Oh no, not Windows 7. Windows Vista. I can't remember what it was exactly like. But if you look up Paul stretched Windows startup music, please help, you'll find it.
Please help.
You have to say please. You got to use the Oxford comma.
You'll
find it.
Please.
If
Comma.
you don't use
Help.
if you don't use the Oxford comma and you try Googling that, Google will return an auto result and it says go back to the 3rd grade, numbskull.
Look the Oxford comma.
I like it. I use it.
Let's eat grandma. Let's eat grandma.
Well,
Let's do cocaine.
Is it that time where we start wrapping up?
I think so.
All right. Well, you want to review?
Woo! It's time for the Korn and Kock podcast review.
All right.
We gotta act excited or else no one will watch.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna squee.
Fucking love Obi-Wan.
Love Obi-Wan.
I'm wearing my Oakland Athletics hat.
Oh, so
Oh my gosh.
so every episode you're gonna talk about what hat you wear.
Yeah, I've done it in the other ones.
You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna have to buy a lot of hats, or at least
Well,
non-baseball.
No, I'm gonna
hats.
repeat. I'm gonna repeat
All right.
them. Anyways, Primus show that I'm going to. We did the Metallica show review, which was like a good 30,
Which
35 minutes.
literally took up half the podcast.
About
It was still funny. And then I wrote down an episode title: "Spit Out the Donut Hole." Since "Spit Out the Bone" came up and "Donut Holes" came up.
Well now I can't use it.
Well, I got another one you can use.
Oh.
This podcast is also brought to you by Rivendell by Rush. And also, and I think this would be funnier, Luke Skywalker retired with a question mark.
Well, now I can't use that one either because you mentioned them both on the podcast.
Well, you did How to Date, and there's proof of it.
Yeah, well, How to Date was actually
Hey,
good.
you can't name all the podcasts.
Ed Bell versus Smith Com Food
Okay,
Finit.
look, you can't name all the podcasts. I get.
All
to
right,
name
how
one
about
every
Zane
once in a
names this
while.
podcast?
All right, that's fine.
All right, let me think.
I'll name the next one.
Fine.
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 Okay, if you can't come up.
No,
with
I
one,
got it.
If you can't come
I
up.
got
with
no.
one,
I got it. I
10
have
seconds. 10 seconds. If you can't come up with one, we're losing using Luke Skywalker.
it. King Kong and the Annoying Orange go on an adventure to find the pick of destiny at the Metallica show. There you go.
Too long. Try again.
No. I like that one.
That's too long.
Fine. King Kong and the Annoying Orange find the pick of destiny.
I guess.
I'm gonna use the first one.
The first one?
The first one's not
damn
too
it.
long. I like that one.
Oh, that one's okay, but if I say Luke Skywalker retired,
No,
with
but
question
it's only
mark,
because you. It's.
You know,
Could I do in brackets? Cops called in brackets.
Luke Skywalker.
Gone sexual.
No, you already did that one though. Let's wait a few more before you use it again.
sounds good.
Who's telling the story this time?
You told one, I told one. Zane, you got one?
A story?
Yeah, that's how we usually end.
It's
these
got to be a
things.
funny story that will make us laugh.
It has to
Oh.
be epic. I have to leave soon though.
I've told this story on the. I've probably told this story before, like on the gaming podcast or the gaming channel that Alex is on.
Triple backflip. I'll just say it here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll just say it right here. Me and my friend Alex, we have a gaming channel. It's called Triple Backflip. Zane guests on it sometimes. You should watch it. Go ahead.
Also, I have a YouTube channel, Rush Bauer.
I always link your channel in the description. Fuck you.
Bauer. Subscribe to it. Alex guest starred on one.
You can link me too. I have a YouTube, a SoundCloud, and a Twitter.
I'll do that.
I'll do that.
So this story.
Oh yeah, and shout out to Golden Shades for the logo
Big
again.
Shout out.
Thank you, Golden Shades.
Big shout out, Golden Shades.
Fuck you. Finish the intro. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We love you.
So, my story is about my sophomore year of college. I think like the week before finals started. So I'm sitting there with me and my roommate. We're just sitting in our room, and we live in a Greek life hall. And both of us are not involved in any kind of fraternity whatsoever. So we're just kind of sitting there.
I have a question.
What's up?
Greek Life Hall. Did you all run around in togas?
I did actually walk in at one point, and I watched all the fraternity that was in my hall. They were all dressed up in togas. I was like, having a toga party? And I was like, yeah.
And then you threw a glass of gasoline on them, lit a match, and ran back in your room.
Nah, he did that himself.
So you pulled a roommate on them and just lit them on fire.
It's true. So I'm sitting there with my roommate, and me and my roommate, we didn't really talk too much. We were just kind of on our... He was foreign exchange. He was Chinese, so the language barrier didn't really help with that. But so we're just sitting there, and we're on our computers, and I hear some knocking at the door. The main door, because there's a door that leads into like this small area, and those two small areas lead into two separate rooms, with one being me and my roommate, and the other one being our suite mate, Nick. So I open up the main door that goes into the hall, and I see a guy sitting there, and I know that he's like a resident hall expert, an RA, as they call, residential advisor, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And this guy says, "Hey man, are you with blank fraternity?" I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I was like, no, I'm not. He's like, "Oh, okay. Hey, have you seen like a half-naked guy running around here?" And I'm like, no, I haven't. And right after he says that, I look down and I see that he's got a pair of pants in his hand. And I look back up, he's like, "Oh man, that's a bummer. I'm just trying to get this guy back his pants." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Well, have a good night." I'm like, "Yeah, you too." So I walk back in, I just sit back at the computer. I think I'm there for like...
I'm just trying to give this guy back his...
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like,
I know, it's funny though.
I'm just trying to get this guy back his pants. So I'm back at my computer. I think I'm probably sitting there for like 15 or 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then the room door opens. And I look over, and I see in my peripheral, and it's the half-naked man. I want to give you a description of this guy. I'm not going to say I know his name, but I'm not going to say his name, because I found it out later. So this guy, he came in, he had nothing on but underpants. He had some pantaloons on. Mm-hmm. He had like scraggly, messed up, rough black hair. He had like
short black hair?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He had like kind of crooked bottom teeth. Mm-hmm. And the detail that I love the most, on his back, giant tattoo. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this dude, not the best looking, of the Batman v Superman logo, which I later learned he got before the movie came out.
Oh, God.
Wow.
So this guy comes in, and I make eye contact with him, and he stumbles back and like hits his head on the one of the back walls. And as soon as I see this guy, I was like, "Oh boy." So I just think to myself, just play it cool. Don't like get in a fight or argument or whatever. It's like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" He said, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, "Do you have the right place?" And this guy responds, "Yeah, it's just that, I can't remember the name. Michael said I could sleep here." And as you can probably tell by making up the name, I don't know I don't know who he's referring to. But he says, "Michael said that I could stay here." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know Michael." He's like, "Yeah, well, he said I could sleep here." And then he starts to get into my roommate's bed. So he puts his hand up, he's like starting to climb, and at this point I'm like, okay, I gotta take action. So I get up and I put my hand like just on his arm, like gently, just trying not to aggravate him. And I say, "Hey man, I don't think you have the right place." And he looks at me, and his eyes are dilated. beyond reason. So I think there must have been something more.
There's more black
There
inside than white.
Yeah, there must have been something more than just alcohol in his system. Whatever that may be, I'm not sure. But so he was like,
I'm going
Michael
to
said,
assume shrooms.
Shrooms, maybe, yeah. But he looks at me and says, Michael said I could stay here. I was like, well,
there ain't no Michael here.
There's no Michael here. And at this point, I wasn't thinking too clearly, because in my mind I was thinking, just take care of the immediate situation. So I took him and I was like, hey man, just go out into the suite area. You'll be okay. And I shut my door and I lock it very quietly. I was very careful. I didn't want like to close the door and him be like, whoa, and just like breaks down the door.
That'll trigger him. That'll be the thing that'll knock him out.
Yeah, that's the thing that like makes. No. And so I'm just sitting in my room hoping that like maybe he'll just like leave the suite, and then I start hearing. I'm gonna hit the couch for effect. I hear that on like the walls and the door, like he's punching it. And it's like with like the soft side of his hands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this is just annoying. I need to take care of this. And so I open up the door and I look at him and say, hey, are you sure you're okay, man? You sure you got the right place? And then he like laments. He says, I just think it's so messed up that you and the other guy could stay here, but you guys aren't even in a fraternity, and I don't have a place to stay for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I played devil's advocate. I was like, yeah, man, that's messed up. We really shouldn't be here, to be honest. And then he does one of those things like, when people can get really mad, they put their hands together, they put it close to their mouth, and
they're just like,
that's what he does. So he goes, I want you to go back inside before I get really, really mad. And I'm like, you got it, Chief. So I go back into my room and I quietly lock the door, just being like, I don't want this.
Did you say you got it, Chief?
I didn't say exactly that,
You
but
should have
that's pretty much what I said.
You got it, Chief.
And I quietly lock the door. Now he's not like just kind of like hitting the door and the walls. Now he's punching the door, like with his knuckles. I can hear it get way more violent. So this guy that I learned later on was previously a part of the fraternity that my suite mate was in, and my suite mate just so happened to be the president of this fraternity. Mm-hmm. So at some point, the suite mate comes out and he's like, "Blank, what are you doing here, man?" And he responds like, and he like goes into the bathroom and he locks the door. The drunk guy does. And so my roommate Nick, I could tell my suite mate, I could tell he's done this thing before. He's like, hey man, open the bathroom door, I just want to talk to you, man. And the drunk is like, no, man, I can't do that. No, come on, just open the door, I just want to talk to you. Nick's also, I can tell, tipsy. So it's like, just open the door. And so I hear the door unlock, and I hear, wait, dude, what's that in your hand? Whose wallet is that? And then I hear the door swing open, I hear pitter-patter go down the hall, and I'm like, now's my chance to like lock the suite hall door. So like I get out and I see my suite mate Nick, and he's only in his underpants. I'm like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, did the guy run out? What happened? And Nick looks at me, he's like, do you have your wallet on you? And I like touch my ass. I'm like, yeah, I have my wallet on me. And Nick takes a moment, he looks down and he says, I think he took his own wallet. And so me and Nick, we're really curious. We talked for a little bit about just the guy. And so we get really curious. We both look through the peephole just to see what's going on. Like, looking outside. And then we decide to open the door. We hear, and we see this guy sprinting down the hall. I mean, just like going at it. And I have to also mention too, where our door was is at the very end of the hall. So this guy is sprinting right towards a concrete wall. Just like going for it. And we see all these other guys just like chasing after him. And Nick puts on a shirt and like some shorts and stuff, and he gets his keys and he says, I'm gonna go after him, I'm gonna go check up on him, lock the door because I have my keys and I can come back. And Nick goes out. And that's the end of the story. I wish that there was a better end to it, but that's pretty much where it all ends. Nick came back, we talked a little bit about the guy, and I talked to my roommate after that too. Oh, sorry, I do actually kind of have an ending for this, kind of like a...
Okay.
I talked to my roommate, and my roommate's like, what was that? And I was like, yeah, drunk guy. And my roommate, he goes, this has happened before. I'm like, what? He said, one day when you went to class, because I had classes at 8 a.m., so you went to class, and a guy came in here, and he watched me play video games for 10 minutes, and then he asked me what it was, so I told him, and then he left. And in my mind, I'm like, you're just now telling me this? You tell me, like, at some point earlier in the semester, there was some random drunk guy stumbled in here.
Why didn't you say that right away? Like,
yeah, why didn't you tell me that?
You gotta tell me that.
That's important. So, lesson I learned, there's drunk people everywhere. That's it. That's all I got.
But did you find out what he was fucked up on?
No, I never did. I never got that.
It's sad.
Never got that detail.
Sad day. Alright, well, my legs really hurt and I'm in a lot of pain, so I gotta get up.
You've been sitting down this entire time. You never got up.
No, dude, Stone has rickets.
Dude, I woke up.
Stone has demons.
I woke up and my entire body, back, legs, head, stomach, everything was just in pain, and I don't know why. I didn't do anything last night.
It's because the little gremlin living inside you hasn't been satiated.
You could be like Ed from the episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy. You check your shoe. Could be a stone in there.
Well, I'm not
you.
mad. If I was mad, I could, but I'm not. I'm in pain.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, I guess that's it, huh?
I gotta get going.
Well, this has been an eventful podcast. We talked about a lot of cool things, like the annoying orange. We'll join you. We'll join you next week for another exciting episode of Korn and Kock, where it's probably just gonna be us, me, Korn and Kock. All three of us, Korn and Kock.
That's like you, me, and Dupree. It's the prequel.
Yeah. Fuck. All right, Zane. Thanks for being our guest this week.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
We'll probably see you on this podcast again.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah. Just try to be funny next time.
Yeah, sure thing. I'll try my best.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.